welcome to another season, another episode of Ready, Set, Pop. My name is Mariel greeting you from Mexico City. I'm here with my beautiful co-hosts, Lucas Apache from Brazil, Mauricio Sierra from Colombia, and today we have a special guest with us, my boy Adrian Casas, all the way from Texas. So,
Hey,
hey Adrian.
hey guys.
Hello,
It's great to
welcome
be with you.
Adrian.
Hello, welcome Adrian.
Surrounded by beautiful people.
Thank you.
Oh,
No,
Oh,
we are
yes.
so thankful to have you here finally. Uh, if you guys have seen all of our episodes, we always mention Adrian because he's like our biggest fan, and we thought that it would be great to have him on our first episode of this new season. So, welcome, Adrian. I hope you enjoy the time here with us. We have a
Muchas
lot
gracias.
to ask you. We have a lot to talk about today.
Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for the invite. It's exciting. I love your podcast and to be part of it in one episode. It's amazing. So thank you for
oh,
that.
No,
we are
thank
Thank
super
you.
you.
happy to have you here. Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
totally.
it's so great that we could all schedule ourselves to talk with Adrian because we all know he's busy. But before we start with today's episode, I would like to ask you, Adrian, tell us a little bit more about you, where you're from, what do you do for a living, so everybody gets to know a little bit from you.
Cool. Well, my name is Adrian Casas. I was born in Mexico, but in 1994 we moved to Houston. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been here for almost 30 years. And I'm an insurance agent, a licensed insurance agent. I've been doing that since I was 17, so
Oh,
more
wow.
than 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I love CCM. That's like my first love. That's my first concert was a CCM concert, and I just I'm stuck in 90s CCM and 2000s. Not too much the new stuff, but
Yes.
yeah, that's my love.
Okay,
Awesome.
thank you. And also, how did you find our blog? Because I know you met Mauricio first, but how is it that you guys met, and how did you find our blog or our podcast? I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, it's weird because me and Mauricio were at the same room in CCM Reunite in 2018, I think,
Yes, 2018.
and we didn't know of each other. But after that, like I was so excited about the concert that I went looking for like Instagram stories, and I saw his, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna follow him. Maybe he'll post more CCM stuff, and we
Mm-hmm.
became friends since then. Um, I mean, we wouldn't really talk. We were just like, oh, like, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And then I saw your interview with Crystal Lewis,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, this girl knows what she's talking about. So I started watching more of your videos, and then I saw, I think Mao posted something about this new podcast coming up or whatever, and I'm like, whoa, they know each other. Like I thought that was really cool because I knew you from Crystal Lewis and him from CCM Reunite, and ever since the first episode, I've been a fan, and then I met Lucas because of the podcast, and I don't know, it was like I don't know you guys in person, but I feel like because of all the talks in the podcast, I'm like, oh my god, they're so cool, and I love what they stand for. I love that they go for their dreams, and that's something that I really admire when people have the guts to go after what they dream of, and you guys do that, and it's inspiring. So
Oh,
Oh, thank
thank
you.
Yeah.
you, Adrian. Thank you
Thank you.
so
Thank
much.
you so
Thank
much.
you for your
Thank
words
you.
and thank you for all the support you've been giving us from the very
um,
beginning of Ready Set Pop.
no problem.
Yes.
Yes. So, well, since Adrian just told us that he loves CCM music, guess what the topic of today is? Yay! It's CCM. It's the evolution of CCM music, and we are going to focus mainly on 90s and early 2000s CCM because we know it goes way back, and there's a lot to talk about, but we would like to focus more on these 2 decades. So, Lucas, please introduce us to this amazing theme that we love because the four of us love CCM. So,
Yeah,
yes, I
it's
would like to
true.
start with you.
Yeah, we've been mentioned CCM a lot since the very beginning. I think since the track one, because it was kind of the expertise of Mao alongside with the R&B. He loves CCM, and it's something that we have in common. actually it's kind of surprise for me because I've been discovering how much I love this type of music with you guys. I always listened, but I never connected to CCM. So for people who are watching us for the very first time or didn't realize what CCM is basically the Christian music. And we always talk about the market in the US. There was in that moment of pop music in 90s in the early 2000s, it was very similar of everything that was going on the radio, but focused with the lyrics to God and with a beautiful message and clean lyrics that were safe for kids and people in church to listen. Uh, so there's a bunch of amazing artists in this universe. And of course, there's a lot of history before the 90s, but because it's our thing, the 90s and early 2000s, we're going to start with this decade. And I know that is when Adrian starts to love CCM. So I want to know, Adrian, how the CCM entered in your life in the 90s and the artists, the songs that made you love so much this type of music.
Well, like I said, I grew up in Mexico and I was 11 when we moved to the States. And when we were in Mexico, we used to be Catholic. So to me, church music was boring music, like, guitars and like a rondalla kind of thing, which is like, to me, kind of
Mhm.
lame.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's
yeah.
beautiful, but back then I was young and I'm like, okay, this is boring. And when we moved to Houston, Texas, my dad actually, he became a Christian. My dad used to be like an alcoholic and he would get lost. He wouldn't come home for days. So whenever we moved to Houston, like maybe a year after we moved, he went to a church. He became a Christian, but we were Catholic, and we're like, we're not going to leave the Catholic Church. We want to stay in the Catholic Church. But we saw the change in my dad, and we're like, you know what? Like, let's give it a try. And we became Christian, and we started listening to like a different kind of church music because Christian churches in America, they have all kinds of music, all kinds of genres. So my dad was a very he loved music, and one of his favorite artists was Ramon Ayala, like from Mexico, which is like a norteño, like uh, Mexican music, regional
Yeah.
music.
Mhm.
And my aunt told him about him having a concert, so he went and he fell in love with the music. And I'm like, okay, but I don't like this music. And then there was a singer called Lali Torres. She's like a local singer from Houston, and it's kind of like pop and church music mixed together. And like I loved it. Like it was like my first taste of CCM. And then when we went to a different church in '96, my pastor's daughter sang a Crystal Lewis song, and I fell in love with the lyrics and with the way the song was constructed. The way the highs, the lows, like the bridge, everything. And I'm like, I need to listen to more of this singer. Like, do you have more music? Like, of course. So she lent me her Beauty for Ashes album, and it was Love at First Listen. I could listen to that album from the beginning of the Beauty of the Cross to the end of Healing Oil, and without skipping any song. So I could say that Crystal Lewis is like my first real CCM artist that I just like fell in love with, and I'm still in love with. And and yeah, and after that, like I started listening to the Christian radio station here in Houston. It was more like an adult CCM, like think Vanessa Williams, Celine Dion, stuff like that, but with a positive message.
Mhm.
And every once in a while, they will throw in like some rock song, like DC Talk or Newsboys or something that wasn't aimed towards adults, but more like a younger generation type of
Yeah.
thing. And I loved it. Like I lived for CCM. I was obsessed. Um, I they used to have like this music club. I don't know if they had it in your countries, where it's like you would buy 6 CDs for the price of one penny, and you will become a member, and you can buy more albums, and they will send you
Oh,
free stuff.
awesome.
So I had
Very
like three
nice,
different
yes.
accounts, so I could get more music. But yeah, that's pretty much how I started listening to CCM. And in fact, in 1997. Yeah, 97. That was my first Christian concert. I was 15, and it was Crystal Lewis, um, Anointed, and Brian Duncan. And I actually have, I don't know if you guys can see it,
Oh
Oh, that's
yeah.
great.
the
Yes.
ticket stub, and Crystal Lewis signed it. Um, and it was $12 back then to go to a concert.
Wow.
Whoa.
So
$12,
cheap.
totally. So that was
Yeah.
my first concert, and I fell in love with it. There's a bunch of artists that I still follow, but mainly their old stuff. Not so much the new. But yeah, CCM rocks.
Yeah. Show
Yeah,
us
for sure.
your T-shirt. You gotta
Oh
show
Oh,
yes.
the people.
yes. If I can lower this down a little.
Yes,
Oh, that's
that's Crystal
Yeah,
Lewis
beautiful.
album.
Queen
Yeah.
Crystal. Yeah.
This is Beauty for Ashes, which is Crystal Lewis' gold-selling album, the only one that sold more than 500,000 copies. Five, no, four number ones and one top five song from the album.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it was
huge.
very successful. Yeah, very successful album.
Yeah. What I feel about the '90s is that actually I never connected, as I said, the music to the religion. I always listened to CCM artists without thinking that that was CCM, but I feel like it was like a market too. So we had like artists from this world in the mainstream and artists from mainstream in this world sometimes. So I know this kind of started in the '90s with Immigrant when
Immigrant.
she released the song "Baby Baby," I think is the name,
Baby,
right?
baby.
Baby Baby,
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I think in as far as I know, she was one of the first to do this movement.
Crossover.
But yeah, but when I was growing up, I realized like Sixpence None the Richer was in the radio all the time with Kiss Me, There She Goes, and also
Yeah.
in the CCM universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, how you guys see these mixing and colliding words in that moment in the '90s? Mal, you don't say anything yet, so please.
Okay, thank you, friend. Well, actually, about what Adri was saying, I feel very connected with his history because I live almost the same, you know?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, the Christian radio all the time was playing in my house, but I perceived at that time that it was very boring for me. I was a kid, but then I realized that I love this music so much, and it was because we live in a different countries, you know, and it's different. For example, if you make a comparison in Colombia or in Latin America in comparison to US, for example, in the case of Adri, he was more exposed to the whole universe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
For me
Yes.
was yes, for me was it was a little bit harder, you know, because here in Colombia, I think I don't know my mom and my dad because the radio was so open to play a lot of singers from US, you know. So
Hmm.
at the time, the same artists that Adri named, for example, Newsboys or Rebecca St. James or Audio Adrenaline and stuff like that, and it was so amazing because then I found my identity there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So so talking about this kind of crossovers that you mentioned, Lukitas, I think it was at the first time it was confusing to me because you know that at church and I don't know what Adri thinks, but we are not allowed to listen to secular music, you know, to mainstream music. And it was so weird to listen, for example, Sixpence None the Richer, or even Jackie Velasquez that had her crossover in both world, you know. So it was like,
Yeah.
is she Christian or is she? So it was, but at the same time it was nice because people like you, for example, Luquitas, that doesn't or in the case of Mariel too, that you didn't grow up in a Christian home or something like that, had the
Yeah.
opportunity to know about these artists because of that. So I think it was amazing. For example, I think Sixpence None the Richer was one of the most amazing acts in that moment in the 90s, doing this kind of
Yeah.
crossover. She Sold That was a huge movie at that time, so they had the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to have this song there. It was very nice. So I think it was great because people like maybe was not a Christian had the opportunity to listen to this music and love this music
Yeah.
and
Of
and,
course.
Yeah.
and listen to a different kind of message that it was positive at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I feel like in America, they are more open because here in Brazil that would never happen. You never would see an artist that is considered a Christian in the regular charts or something. And
Neither.
actually, Billboard, yeah, is I was trying to discover the charts from the 90s. It's kind of a mess because Billboard only started to make official chart for Christian in 2003, the Hot Christian
Oh.
charts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So before that is all uh, they're different type of lists, but the radio and singles and all mix up, and sometimes even mix up with the adult contemporary because
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes those kind of artists were playing in this type of radio too. So I think it's more open in the US than other countries for
Yeah.
in my
Mm-hmm.
vision.
But like growing up, Christian or religious, I guess, it's like when it was happening, when the crossover was happening, it was like Mauricio said, it was confusing, and at the same time, it was like, oh, we can't like this, like
Yes. Yes.
we will see them like as a sellout, like, oh my God,
Yes.
they're leaving the faith or whatever.
Like a
But as you
rebels.
grow up,
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, and it's like, I guess we were taught like black or white, there's no gray. And now that I'm older, I see that there's a lot of gray and it's beautiful. And
Yes.
it's
For
not
sure.
just like you're either hot or you're cold. There's all kinds of things. And I'm so thankful now that, crossovers existed because I feel like thanks to an Amy Grant or a Sixpence None the Richer or a Lifehouse, you guys, Lucas and Mariel and everybody else, discover great artists
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
great songs that doesn't sound like church music. It's like a great beat, a great voice, and great lyrics.
Yes.
And I
Live
love that.
music. Yes.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And like I remember, I'm sorry if I'm talking too much, stop me.
No, 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 no.
No,
But
no, 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 no. Go ahead, friend.
I can't remember the exact year, but I think it was 1999. Sixpence None the Richer was nominated for a Dove Award, which is like a Christian music award,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
for Song of the Year for Kiss Me. And it was a whole mess. Like, after that, they had to change the rules where a song nominated for a Song of the Year, Christian Song of the Year, had to be about God
Of course.
and not
Mm-hmm.
about, kissing somebody or a love song, which I thought it was really stupid.
Yeah.
But in a way, it makes sense because I mean, it's
It's a
a Christian
Christian
music
award.
award, so
Yes.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes.
Actually, I
Yeah,
couldn't find the number of Kiss Me and neither There She Goes in the charts back then because I think some radio were not playing those songs by then, but I know that the TV channels were playing the music videos, so it's kind of confusing.
yeah. No, they weren't played because they kind of like shunned them. Like, oh, they're not singing about God anymore, so we can play them. So they stopped playing their music, at least in the stations here in Houston, or the main station here in Houston, which they're
Hmm.
very, conservative.
Mm.
They're the same ones that whenever Sandy Patty got a divorce, they stopped playing her music.
Mm-hmm.
Amy
Oh.
Grant,
Hmm.
gone. Even Jackie, and Jackie Velasquez is from Houston. Like her roots are from Houston, so she was like the golden girl, for
Yeah.
Houston.
Yes.
Hmm.
And whenever she got a divorce from her first marriage, they stopped playing her music for a while, which I thought it was really ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a way to kick somebody when they're down. And also with Nika Leonti, she's like this. She started her career very young.
Mm-hmm.
She's like one of those power vocalists, like powerhouse vocalists,
Hmm.
and she was making it. Like she was, like doing really, really good in the charts and everything. But then she got pregnant out of wedlock. She was like a teenage mom, single mom. So it was like,
She
no, you're
got
out.
banned.
Like we can't.
You're out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
God,
Yeah.
shunned.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
same.
We
it's
have
it's
so
hard.
many examples. Yes.
Yes, actually, the same happened here, and there is something that I want to add. Here, it was very curious because in the radio station, in the Christian radio station back in the day, for example, with Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer, because we are not an English speakers. It's not an English country, So they were
Mhm.
like, "Oh, the song is not about a kiss. The song is about a kiss of life, like a kiss of God or something like that." They
Oh,
tried, yes, they try to put this kind of things in,
interpretation.
yes, that this kind of interpretation for people to think that, okay, we're not playing secular music, we are playing music with a spiritual message, but at the end of the day, it's not bad that the song is about that kiss a
Yeah.
guy or kiss a girl, or it's
And it's so
it's
naive.
okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
It's
Yes, it's
so
so naive.
I mean, if
Yeah,
you listen to
and
today's music, it's totally innocent.
yes.
yes. And
Totally
at the end
rated
of the
G.
day, if you are Christian, you are a human. You have the right to be in love. You have
Yeah,
the right
sure.
to kiss someone. It's ridiculous. So at that time, it was very curious here in Colombia because with other songs like other for Jackie Velasquez, for example, like she's naming God in the song, so they try to interpret this kind of songs in that way that it was not real, it was not right because
Yeah.
the song is not about that, and it's not bad at all.
You think it's
Yeah.
kind lying to themselves to be okay to listen to the song? Because, for example, here
Yes.
in Brazil, there's some type of church that they are not allowed to watch TV. Uh,
Okay.
so my mom has a friend that goes to this church. She's not allowed to watch TV, but she watches telenovelas in the computer. So in her mind, it's okay because it's not a TV. But actually it's not this, right? The
Yes.
content is telling the scene.
Yeah.
So they lie
Yeah.
to themselves to do what they say is a scene. You feel like the radio were doing this, Mal?
Yes, yes, friend. I think it was like it's okay because at the end of the day they are Christian and we can interpret the song like in this way. We know
Mm-hmm.
that the song is about a different kind of thing. For example, is a kiss and it's okay, but
Yeah.
we are going to interpret this song in this way to be Christian,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and,
So
and to
it's
be
okay.
right to listen. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
is
I feel like it
is
was a
very
big no.
funny.
Like if you're a Christian, you're supposed to sing about God and that's it. You
Yeah.
Yeah.
cannot sing about being in love or about kissing someone or
Yeah.
marrying someone. It's ridiculous,
It,
and
Yeah.
it's like
For sure.
you grow up with this like cloud of religion over you that is like maybe they're right, maybe I shouldn't listen to this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
because I remember you guys know of Lifehouse, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they're a Christian band, or they started as a Christian band,
Yeah.
and some of their songs they used to play them on the like a rock Christian rock station that we have here in Houston, and people will call and complain because hey, you're playing a secular song, that song I'm falling even more in love with you,
Yes. Hanging by a moment.
and yeah, and I'm like, whoa, like that's insane because I mean I used to think like that too, like oh yeah, they are playing a secular song, and but as the years went by, I remember even we used to sing everything by Lifehouse
Mm-hmm.
at
Yes.
church. So I'm just glad that I grew out of that mindset of like
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't listen to that.
sometimes the Christian world can be very tight, like
Yeah.
if you don't do this, you are out. And I remember seeing Rachael Lampa's video of Save Your Song, and she does this very simple choreography, and the comments were like, why is she dancing like that? She's not respecting God. This is not what a Christian girl should be doing. And I'm like, is she naked? Is she showing off her body like crazy? I mean, she's just dancing. I mean,
Yeah.
why is
Yeah.
And
people
it's
complaining?
because I don't know if it's real, but the video is very inspired by Human Nature, but by Madonna. It's very similar because of the squares.
I don't
Mm.
remember that video.
Yes, yes,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
It's because of that too. I don't know if Rachel's team inspired
Yeah.
from this video, but I can see the similarities between the two videos because of the
Yeah.
squares. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, what part
Yeah.
is, disrespectful? I mean,
Yeah.
No, and
that's.
at the end
No.
of the day, is the trend. Is the trend.
Yes. But now that you mention this, I remember we have here in Brazil a Christian singer called Pamela,
Mm-hmm.
and Britney Spears was the inspiration, like clearly to her.
Oh.
But it's very funny because there's a song that she's singing about God, and like she's doing the Britney voice, you know, and the sample of the song is "I'm a Slave for You."
Okay.
Oh,
So that is
Okay.
weird, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of
that's weird.
the Christian music in Brazil is funny. I will send you guys
I
to
need
listen.
to listen to
It's
that.
very fun. There's another track that she used it. I think "Me Against the Music" as the sample, and
Okay.
the
Okay.
photos in the album are very similar to the "In the Zone." But
Oh my
Now,
god.
now that you
yeah,
mentioned this, Luquitas, I want to put this on the table and what you think about that. Starting with Adri, these kind of versions. For example, what do you think, Adri, about if you like Melissa Etheridge in the Christian market, you have Jennifer Knapp, or if you like NSYNC, you have True Vibe or Jessica Simpson, Joe Williams. What do you think about that?
I was all for it, honestly, growing up, because it was a great alternative and a great way to get this artist out there, and I remember going to the Christian bookstores and looking at the chart, like if you like Celine Dion, you love Crystal Lewis. If you
Oh.
like Jennifer Lopez, you like Jackie Velasquez, stuff like that. And I feel like, I mean, I thought it was normal, back then because
Okay.
it was normal to me, like to go and, okay, okay, yes, that's right, that makes sense. And but now I see it like, whoa, like it's kind of weird,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like it really did serve its purpose. Like I really do feel like maybe if you were a new Christian or not even a
Yeah.
Christian and you were looking for an alternative, like it was a great
Mm-hmm.
way,
Yeah.
to find new artists.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. What do you think, Mariel?
Well, like Adrian says, if you are someone that is starting to get into this religion or whatever it is you're starting to look at, you should have references. Like, okay, if you would like to listen to something that sounds more pop, this is the kind of music that you should listen to. Or because I know Christian music has different genres, not only CCM. So you can find rock, you can find country, you can find, like different. So I think it's
R&B.
it's great
Yes.
to have different references and um, maybe
Yeah,
getting inspired by those secular artists. It's great because they take a
Okay.
lot
yeah,
from
Okay.
them. So
yeah. But there's a
Okay.
difference between like having a chart and having like a
A version of a
label
copy. Okay.
or like a label creating someone to be just
Yes.
like them, and I feel like that's
Yes.
when it's like, okay, why are you doing that? Let that artist be their person.
mm-hmm.
Maybe they don't want to be the next Whitney or the next Christina.
Yeah.
Or
Maybe
the
they have
Christian
something else to
Britney or
offer.
the Christian Christina. Yes.
Exactly, because I feel like with Plus One, I feel like they really did push them to be the next boy band.
Yeah.
Our version of NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, and they fizzled. Like it was like two albums and like that's it,
Yeah.
because they pushed that so much that they didn't let them be who they really
Mm-hmm.
were.
Oh,
I
they
think.
there were. Yes.
Yes.
What do you think, Luquitas?
I think I just realized that happened very recently in our conversations because for me, whenever I discover a Christian artist, for me, it was one more
Mm-hmm.
artist. You know, I
Okay.
never link it with the secular ones. But I was watching this show that I'm watching a lot of the CCM Classic channel on YouTube, and there's a show that was kind of the TRL of Christian, and they were talking about, I think it was Newsboy.
Newsboys?
Is this
It was
Newsboy?
boys.
Yes,
Mhm.
Newsboys. They were very proud to say that they were not version of any secular artist. They wanted to be themselves. So I
Oh.
realized that that was a common conversation. They talk very openly about being alternative Christian version. So for me that is weird, but I gotta be honest that I'm kind of amazed with this CCM universe because for me was like, okay, I have this whole pop universe, and suddenly I discover one door to open, and there's more pop in there, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really connect it to the secular music. For me, it's just more music.
No, exactly. And I
Yeah.
Okay.
think that you
Okay.
will
Okay.
always be compared, no matter if you want to, like say I'm
Yeah,
original. people's always
Yeah.
going to say, "Oh, you sound like this, and you sound like that, and you have
Yeah,
this." So,
even in the secular,
yes,
yes, that
oh
happened
yes,
Yes,
with
even in the
all the
secular.
girls.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, like it's
yes.
like
That's
the
so true.
influences that that artist has show in their performance. You know, like Stacie Orrico keeps saying about what's her name, Lauren Hill,
hmm
Yeah.
and you can feel it. You know that vibe in her some of her songs. So it's like you can help it. You know,
yeah,
you are gonna
you
compare
have to
people.
have an
Yeah, yeah,
inspiration, obviously. So,
And
Yes.
it's not necessarily a Christian
yeah,
inspiration sometimes.
hmm
For example, in
yeah,
this kind, these girls, for example, Rachael Lampa, named Crystal Lewis, I don't know, as an influence, but at the same time, she names another singers, Whitney or Mariah, and it's okay.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's why
Totally.
music is so
But
open.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
and it must
I'm
be open.
curious to know one thing about all of you guys. I want to know, starting with Marielle, because I think her experience is more similar with mine. If you ever been shocked to discover that one artist was Christian, like because that happened with me with Stacie Orrico, as I mentioned. I discovered a little bit after Stuck that she was Christian, and but first that happened with the band POD, the
Okay,
rock band,
yes.
because
Yeah.
I used to listen to Youth of the Nation, Alive, a bunch of songs, and they were on MTV all the time. And suddenly I discovered they were a Christian band. I was like, what? So it was kind of shocking to me. And
Yeah,
I want to know with you guys, Marielle.
yeah. It happened with. Do you guys know Out of Eden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was
You didn't know they were Christian?
when I first listened to them, I was listening to their song "No Turning Back," and it started like really hip hop. And I was like, "Yeah, this sounds cool, yay!" So and all of a sudden, I keep listening to that song like crazy. But one time, I really can't recall exactly when, but I was looking into some Christian artists, and they appear like similar, and I'm like, these are Christian, and yeah, like I never really pay attention to the lyrics, and that's why I was a little shocked, but obviously glad to know that they were, like in the CCM, but
Oh.
I didn't expect them to be Christian at first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you, Adrian, have you ever been shocked?
Yes. To me, it was actually Lifehouse because I had
Oh.
heard, Falling Even More in Love. I can remember the name of the title. Um,
Hanging by a moment.
Thanks. Hanging by a Moment. And I love that song.
Me
I was
too.
a Christian, but I love that song. And when I heard him on the Christian radio station, I was like, what? So I did my research and I'm like, oh, wow, they're actually a Christian band. So it was very shocking, but now that I'm older, I'm like, yes.
Yay.
Yeah, and they went number one with that song in the Billboard Hot 100. So it's amazing
Yeah, for a
for a
Christian
Christian
artist,
band.
yes.
Yeah,
Great.
actually, they were the number one song by 2001. The year-end chart,
Oh,
like
okay.
huge.
Wow.
Yes,
Yes.
and you, Mal.
Okay, there is like a moment in time that it was very funny because you know that Paul McCoy from 12 Stones
Yes,
is part of this song by Evanescence, Bring
Bring
Me
Me
to
to Life.
Life.
Yes,
Yes, so in that moment, the Christian radio here in Colombia was playing Bring Me to Life and Evanescence as a Christian new band. It was so
uh huh.
weird because then they realized that they were not a Christian band. And then I was reading about that, and Amy Lee was like explaining all this kind of what they wanted to do at that time, and it was the idea of the other guy that I can't remember the name, the leader of the band, the other guy from Evanescence
It's Ben
had
Moody.
this. Yes, yes, thank you, friend. This guy had this idea at that time to be involved in the Christian music, to to have more audience, not only in the
Yes,
secular, also in the Christian. Yes, yes, it was his idea, and it was very funny because at first I was like, they're Christian, but they were not Christian, and but 12 Stones is a Christian band, and
yes,
the
Yes.
other was Sixpence None the Richer because Kiss Me was huge. So I was like, they are wrong, you know? Like maybe maybe they made a mistake playing the song in the Christian radio, you know? Because it was like,
Yeah.
is this song? Listen, I was listening. The same was with Jackie Velasquez with Como se cura una herida. I remember one day my mom was singing a song, and I was like, "It's not a Christian song," and she was like, it is a Christian song. Jackie
That's
Velasquez is
true.
Christian." So yeah, it was shocking, but I think it was Sixpence None the Richer and Evanescence
Yeah.
in this case.
Yeah.
Evanescence, actually, if you listen to the lyrics of Bring Me to Life, you can kind of interpret it as a
Yes,
Christian song. But
yes,
Emily
I
was
think that.
not happy about that. You are
No,
right.
no, she was not happy. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, I
because
saw
the
an
radios
interview
were
about that.
playing.
Yes.
Yes,
And have you?
it's
Wow.
great. So
Yeah, I'm sorry, Lucas.
go, Mario.
No, sorry.
Please,
Have you
please.
ever had to tell someone that what they are singing about is Christian because they don't really know? Because one time it happened with me. A friend of my mom has a son, and he was obsessed singing "You Say" by Lauren Daigle. That is, pretty recent. That song has like 4 years. Um, and he was like, "I love that song. It's so popular." And I'm like, "You are aware that that's a Christian song?" And he's like, "It is because I'm not Christian." And I'm like, "It is." And it's actually number one on the Christian charts for the past weeks. So, and he
Yeah.
actually won Song of the Year with as a Christian song. So he was like, "Oh my God, I
Yeah.
never realized." And I'm, yeah, that's a Christian song.
Yeah.
Has that ever
Yeah.
happened to you?
That's funny.
I don't
Yeah.
think
Well,
I had to explain, but I use that in my benefit sometimes with my parents. Uh, for example, to buy the genuine album by Stacie Orrico, I said with all the words, "She's Christian." Like you, maybe they are happy because I'm listening to a Christian girl and they buy it and it work it.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
think I only use it in my advantage sometimes.
oh,
Yeah.
great.
It seems like we always gravitate towards Stacy, but the same thing with me. Like after CCM reunite, I posted some videos of her singing. I can remember the song, but some of my cousins from Mexico that I had no idea they would know who she was. They're like, "Oh, that's Stacie Orrico." And I'm like, "How do you know Stacie Orrico?" But in my mind, I keep forgetting that Stacie Orrico was huge in mainstream. In my
Yeah.
mind, I know Stacy because of the CCM world. So when somebody tells me that, I'm like, "What? How?" They're like, "Yeah, they used to play it on MTV and this and that." I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, stick.
And you, Mao?
With me it was funny because it was with POD,
Okay.
because I had these not friends, like other people in the school that love this kind of rock and this kind of very, I don't know if is this grunge or something like that, friend, like or heavy metal that POD
It's like
does.
new metal. New
New
metal.
metal, yes, this kind
Yeah.
of movement that is very hard, but and they were like, oh, we love POD and stuff like that. And one day I said, like, POD is a Christian band, and they were like, it's impossible because the
Yes.
guys had tattoos and the hair. And I was
Yeah.
like, yes, but they are Christian. It was good. It was good because at the end of the day, like, they are giving a good message, and it's
Yes.
for
And
everybody,
breaking
not
the
not
mold.
only,
Yes.
yes, not only for the people in church. It's like for everybody. So it was very nice.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In that moment, in the early 2000s, there was a moment that Christian music became something cool. I
Yeah.
blame Stacie Rico and POD and the bands like this because I remember 2003 after Stacie Rico became like a pop star, MTV did this special that you guys may watch it on YouTube or MTV back then. That was From Church
Mm-hmm.
to the
To the
Mm-hmm.
Charts, I
Mm-hmm.
church.
believe the
Uh huh.
name.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they mentioned Beyonce, Jessica Simpson, Stacie Rico, and so in this
Kelly
moment was kind
Clarkson.
of
Yes.
cool to be a Christian artist. So I think this is
yeah.
very cool, very interesting.
Why is there a little hand
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
in your?
You
I
saw that?
know. What
I
was
don't know what
that?
that was.
Bubbles.
Yeah,
Here.
with a finger,
With
a
the
thumbs
thumbs
up.
up.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that was. I didn't do anything.
In Edri.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. I was looking like,
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a bubble.
yeah.
What is
Me
that?
too, and I
I
was like,
I didn't
It's
see
a
that.
ghost. If we have a ghost, we're going
We're going
viral with
viral.
this
Yes,
episode.
with the
it
it's
is
a Christian
Halloween, so
ghost.
Okay. It's a
Oh my
Christian
god,
ghost,
that's so
yes.
weird. Yes.
Okay, so
no.
yes, Adrian. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say how I was reading about in the '90s, Christian music became this like huge like explosion of different genres, and like the sales were just ridiculous. Like everybody was buying Christian albums, and it was mainly because of the crossovers. You know, that's when people started finding out about all these different artists. And I was reading how it was like artist after an artist, you know, like releasing albums because they couldn't just keep up with
Mm-hmm.
the demand. That by the end of like the 2010s, like it all went like it rose, but then by 2010s, like ooh, you know.
Yeah.
But I was reading about it. It was because of like Amy Grant with Baby Baby and Bob Carlisle with Butterfly
Mm-hmm.
Kisses, and there's like great inspirational songs that like people loved. You know, like it
Yeah.
opened the market for
Mm-hmm.
Christian music, and
Exactly.
a lot of people, they think Christian music, oh, lame,
Yeah.
but it has had its great, accolades and awards. Like I was reading, or well, actually no, because I really like this band called Point of Break,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and they have they had 24 number one consecutive number one songs, 24, and it's only like three or four other artists in the world that have achieved that, like a song after the song, consecutive number one songs, and it was 24 number
Wow.
one songs, and I was like, whoa,
That's.
like that's a great
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
feat. And also another one of my favorites, Stephen Curtis Chapman. He recently celebrated his 50th number one song, not consecutive, but still 50 number one songs in your
That's
career. I think
great.
that's
Yeah.
amazing, and
It's
I think
insane.
he's like up there with Madonna and a country singer called George
Mm-hmm.
Strait and somebody else. Like, and that's the only four artists that have achieved 50 number one songs. So,
Awesome.
like, don't I feel like people like give CCM a chance. You'll be
Yeah.
surprised what you can
Yes.
find.
And as you said,
Okay.
that opened a market, so some artists that were mainstream uh, actually released music in this universe. As I wanted to mention, the girls that I love, Ellie and AJ,
Mm-hmm.
they released Never Far Behind. It's a single from this album only for Christian market, and they went
Mm,
number 28 in the charts in Billboard, the Christian hot charts with this song. And Carrie Underwood is
what Jesus say the
one
word?
artist with three number ones in the Christian
Mm-hmm. Jesus
charts,
take the wheel.
and one, yes, the other one is something in the water,
Something in the
and the
water.
other one I don't
And she
remember.
released a Christian album actually with hymns. So it
Yeah,
must
Hmm.
be
so
one
maybe
of
it's from
those.
this
Mm-hmm.
album.
How
Yeah,
great that award, probably.
Yeah.
yeah. She spent it, I believe, 33 weeks at number one,
Wow.
counting
Okay.
all the songs.
Okay.
And actually, it's kind of weird because one artist that is has nine number ones in the Christian chart is Kanye West.
Ah,
Kanye
yes.
West.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was a real market for
Yeah,
people.
Yeah.
actually, if you think
No, and
about certain singers, and I'm going to talk about Mariah because you know I love Mariah. If you listen to her second album,
Yes.
Emotions, Emotions is full of songs dedicated to God. If you actually listen to it carefully,
Yes.
Yeah.
especially this song "Make It Happen," it's all about God.
Make it
Hmm.
happen.
And that
Yes.
song was actually
Yeah.
Yes.
number three on
And
the Billboard Hot 100.
yes, and vision of love is about God.
Yes. So,
Like for me, vision of love is about God. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I had a vision of love, and it was about you. Like it's a Christian, not a Christian. It's like a
a
spiritual
spiritual
or something
song.
like that. It's a very, yeah, spiritual
Yeah.
song. Yes, yes. Talking about this, I want to ask Adri about. We were talking about like this kind of crossovers, but what do you think about these artists, and in special your queen and the great Crystal Lewis? She started doing CCM, and she was like very CCM artist, and then she decided to goes in a different kind of road,
direction.
in a different kind of direction. What do you think about this?
Um, if I think about it as a back then religious person, it's hard, to like follow. someone in a different direction when you're like, no, they're supposed to think or sing about God. But now that, like I said, I'm older and I really see things in a different way, I think it's great. And one of the things that I've always admired, I guess, about Crystal Lewis is that, you know, she always broke the mold. I feel like a lot of the younger artists really do look up to her because, I mean, they have said it, like Katy
Mm-hmm.
Perry, Stacie Orrico, and like all these other artists. And I think it's because she wasn't your cookie cutter Christian artist. She wasn't just like singing kind of like Immigrant or singing like Sandy Patty. She was different. She was singing all kinds of genres, all kinds. I mean, she raps in
Mm-hmm.
one of the songs. Like she has all these different songs or different types of music, and I think that's what people wanted. Like Christian kids wanted something different. I don't want to listen to the same old hymns or church songs. I want to listen to something different, and I think. That's what I love about her, and I love that now she's doing that what she wants to
Mm-hmm.
do. Because I feel like even in some of her music, you can tell that not that she was forced, but it wasn't made with the most like this is what I
Mm-hmm.
want to do.
Yeah.
Like we talked about it in one of her albums. It's
No.
not that great, and I feel like it's because she wasn't 100% on
Yeah,
it.
and
I really have. I mean, I haven't asked her if that's the case, but I feel like plain and simple. One of her albums is just like
well, if you guys watch the interview I made with Crystal, we talked
yeah,
about that, and she actually mentions that she doesn't like plain and simple, because she felt like
that's
it was
right.
more, how to say, like forced. I was forced to do another Christian album, but with little time, and that she worked with her son to produce the songs and stuff. But she never felt too connected with the production of that album. And when I asked her how she felt
Yeah,
when people started, criticizing her for giving up Christian music and then going jazz, she was like, "Well, people has, the right to think whatever, but as an artist, I feel like I need to evolve, go to a different level." So I think that's
Yes.
what makes her so versatile, so so
yeah.
complete, because she doesn't want to stay in the same place. She wants to go out, and that's why she's so popular. Well, my opinion.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
I have this magazine from 2000. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And it says she spent half her life in the spotlight, and now Crystal Lewis reinvents herself again. And I love that because, like, it's true. Like, every album, it's like she
Good.
really, like, brought something new.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's great when artists do something that they really love because it shows. Like you can see that they're enjoying it. And but the Christian world or the Christian people can be very unforgiving, which it's like doesn't make sense because their message is about forgiveness. But they can be very unforgiving when it comes to like people selling out, and it's sad because I mean I'm a huge fan, so I would go to her Facebook or her Instagram, and I would read some of the comments, and it's
Mm-hmm.
insane how someone
Yeah.
that in their profile says that they're followers of God. You see the comments that they leave, like to someone that is singing about not even
No.
sex or drugs or anything like that, about love, and they're just like horrible,
Yes.
horrible,
Too
horrible,
cruel.
Horrible.
Very cruel.
Yes. Yes. And yes, and a lot of
cruel.
hate. I mean, it's Christian people, and it's a lot of
Yes.
hate. You know.
Makes
Makes
no
no
sense
sense,
because we're
right?
supposed to
Yes.
Yes.
be
Yes.
loving each
Make
other
No
and
makes
sense at
no
all.
surrounded.
sense.
Well,
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Oh
Yes. Yes.
God,
Yes. What do you
literally
think,
God.
Luquitas, about these singers doing different stuff?
I think it's amazing because after all, we are all human beings. So we have all parts inside of us. Like you believe in something, but that do not that not impossibility to love someone or to hate someone or to have bad feelings or bad moments in your life. So you can basically sing about whatever. So I think it's great when artists do that, and even when they do the other way, like Tori Kelly recorded a Christian album because it's a part of hers, the same way
Of her
the
life?
R&B
Yeah.
is part of her life. So we are, we say in Portuguese, múltiplos. We are a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things
Yeah.
inside. So as an artist, you should be able to explore that and express that in your
Definitely.
music for sure.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like a Christian thing or if it's like a cultural thing here in America because when Leanne Rhymes, she started as a country singer, and whenever she started doing more pop stuff,
Hmm.
like they stopped playing her
Yes.
music in the country
It's
radio
crazy.
stations
Yeah,
because like they declare her a sellout, and I'm like, like I don't know, like I feel like people
Why?
should be able to sing whatever they want to sing,
yeah.
and I mean sometimes I wish Crystal Lewis will do like a pop album,
Me
instead of
too.
another jazz,
I
but
really wish.
but I mean, like I think it's great. Again, I go back to the same thing. Like it's great when people follow their dreams, when people want to do what they do,
Mm-hmm.
what they want to do. So if she wants to sing jazz right now and she's enjoying it, like go for it.
Let them be.
Yeah,
Let them
Yeah.
be.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Live
Yeah.
and let
for
live.
And now,
sure.
Adrian, I want to ask you, since you began listening to CCM music in the 90s, I know you consider
Hmm.
Crystal as the main singer from the 90s. Which other
Yes.
artists do you, your top five singers or groups from the 90s?
Oh my God, there's a lot, but I really, really love Erin
Mm-hmm.
O'Donnell.
Yeah.
She hasn't put out any music in such a long time, but her first two or three albums I love her voice is so distinct. That's one of the things I miss about the '90s or early 2000s CCMs is that you will listen to someone and immediately
Mm-hmm.
knew who that was. Everybody had their own sound, and Erin O'Donnell is no exception. She has great music, great lyrics. I love Erin O'Donnell. Um, Jackie Velasquez, of course.
For sure.
Palomas en el cielo.
Yes, Palomas en el cielo.
Yes. Who else? Let me see. I mean, Stacie and Rachel, of course, but let me give you some other because we always talk about them.
No, but
Yeah,
So
no, from the
Aaron,
90s, from the
Stacy and
90s.
Rachel were 2000 ahead. So
We're
oh,
yeah.
you
2000s,
say
yes.
'90s? Okay. So Aaron O'Donnell, Jackie Velasquez, um, Out of the Gray. It's a band that I really enjoyed from the '90s.
Yes.
Avalon,
Avalon.
loved Avalon, uh, and I guess Point
Mm-hmm.
of Grace.
I knew
I
it.
knew
Okay.
it. Me too.
And I have more, but like those are the ones that I can
And
think of
what
right
about
now.
you guys? Which
Great.
Nikki Leonti. I'm sorry, I
Nikki?
forgot Nikki
Yes.
Leonti. I love Nikki.
What about
Nikki.
you,
Yes, yes,
Luquitas?
yes, yes.
From the
You have
90s,
a list?
I don't know if I have a whole list. Let me think. I
Yeah.
really love Jackie Velasquez, Palomas en el cielo from the 90s.
Yes.
But I think I'm more 2000s
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to CCM for sure. Because
Maybe
for
Sixpence None
2000,
the Richer, friend.
Sixpence None the Richer,
Plum, Plum,
I do
Plum,
love.
Plum,
I'm
Plum.
actually I'm discovering more now. I was listening to some bands last week from the US. They were more like ska music that is kind of
Hmm.
hardcore, but with
Mm-hmm.
you know. Uh, Even that there was a thing like this band is called the Insiders. I don't know if Adrian knows them.
I know them. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
I, I haven't
I'm
heard of them.
discovering more about the 90s, but
Okay.
2000s it's more my thing.
And you,
Here's your
Mao?
jam.
Yes.
Well, Rebecca St.
Mm-hmm.
James, I love her. Um, DC Talk, for sure. Nicole Nordeman.
Yes.
Yes.
It's hard to have like a five, like a list of five, because it's a lot. Jackie Velasquez. Um,
Jennifer
I
Knapp.
can include Jennifer Knapp. Yes, for sure, Jennifer Knapp. And also I can
Also,
include some gospel. And I have a next question for Adrian, for, of course, for you guys. But for example, Keir Franklin,
Mm-hmm.
or yes, Keir Franklin or Yolanda Adams. I can include them.
Mhm.
Um, yes, I think this is talk, audio adrenaline, newsboys. Yes, yes. Crystal,
Love it.
yes.
Top
Yes,
five.
obviously.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. It's
5,000.
impossible
Top
to have.
500.
Yeah, it's impossible to have a list of five. Yes,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
yes, but I think Rebecca St.
What
James
about you,
was
Maria?
part.
Well,
Yes.
obviously,
Yeah.
yeah,
And you,
obviously
Mariel?
Crystal. Um, I love Natalie Grant, who also started
Yes.
in the '90s. Nikki Leonti, as Adrian said, she's great.
Yes.
Um, hmm. Uh, I like Sandy Patty definitely, but I think Sandy Patty began in the
Mhm.
'80s and '90s, so she has a long
Yeah.
way in her career.
Oh,
And
yes.
I love Nicole
The voice.
Nordeman, Jackie Velasquez. I mean, there's a lot, and when it comes to 2000s, there's obviously so
Even more.
Yes, even
yeah.
more. Yeah.
2000s.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Talking about that, I have a question for the one that I was talking about. What do you think is the difference, Adri, between CCM and
Yeah,
gospel?
great question.
Well, this is gonna sound. I'm not trying to sound racist, but I feel like CCM was saying more towards like a white audience, and gospel music was perceived more for like a black audience, which is kind of like
Mm-hmm.
messed up, I guess, because you can like whatever you want,
Mhm.
but it was certainly marketed like that, back in the 90s. But I love gospel music too. There's a lot of great, singers. But since my radio station, the one I grew up with, was mainly more like an adult CCM, I listen more to
Mm-hmm.
that, But
Yeah.
there's a lot of great gospel singers like
Mm.
CC Winans, uh, Yolanda Adams, Out of Eden, Kirk Franklin, Nicole C. Mullen. Like, there's all these great artists that I wish they would. I mean, they are big, but I wish they were bigger here,
Mm-hmm.
like in Houston, like when with that station.
Yeah.
But it was a different market, I guess. So we
Mhm.
really didn't listen to that as
Yeah.
much growing up.
Okay.
Okay, what do you think, guys? Look at us.
I think for me, in my mind, is more about the vocals. Like the gospel, there's a certain way to sing that is more soulful and mainly sing it by black people. Actually, we were talking about songs that there's this gospel vibe and it's not a Christian. I love Crush by Christina
Mm-hmm.
Aguilera in the
Mm-hmm.
Stripped album. For me, that is a gospel song that is very soulful. There's the choir singing with her. I think about the gospel music more like the type of singing, the type of music, because in CCM you can sing country, you can sing pop, you can sing rock. So the vocals is pretty similar to the secular world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Okay. Okay, what do you
Same,
think, Mariel?
same. I think that it's mainly about the vocals and how you express the words because sometimes CCM like can be more in this tone, and when it's all gospel, they can go like that, and mainly black artists,
Yes.
which is great because we know that black artists have
Yeah,
great voices. But yes, I think that's what
can sing.
Yeah.
they can
They
sing,
can
and
sing.
if you
Yes.
compare like Yolanda Adams, who has a great voice, or Sissy Winans, you cannot say they sing the same like Jackie Velasquez or Stacie. I mean, they don't have that same
Yeah.
power, but still
Power.
great. I
Yes.
mean, I think it's
Yes.
more like the vocals, like
Yeah.
Luquitas just said.
Hmm.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Talking about
yes.
that, like there was a song by Kirk Franklin called "The Blood Song," and there was a live performance with Crystal Lewis, Jackie Velasquez, Donnie McClurkin, and of course
Danny
Kirk Franklin.
McClurkin, yes.
At the BET Awards or something like that. And of course, Donnie McClurkin, powerful voice, and then Crystal Lewis, she can hold her own. And then Jackie Velasquez starts singing, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, I love Jackie. I love Jackie Velasquez, but she has no business
Yeah.
singing in
Yeah.
like a gospel song. Like her
Yeah, it's
voice is not
difficult.
meant for that. And it's funny because like she starts singing and she can't reach it, and she makes faces, and you see the people in the audience, and they're just like,
Yeah.
you know,
Praise.
like It's
And
raining. Like it's
and the
okay, bro. It's
palomas
okay.
fly into the sky like this. Like
Yes,
yes,
they're flying away.
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
So yeah, but I'm sorry. I hope nobody has a question because I
Yeah,
wanted to ask
go ahead.
something.
Go
Um,
ahead.
Yeah, of
since
course.
I brought the blood song, there's a lot of great collaborations that involve secular artists with Christian artists in the '90s and in 2000s. One of them being Whitney Houston and CC
Mm-hmm.
Winans "Count on Me." I don't know if you guys are familiar with that song, which is a great song. And then we had Crystal Lewis with R. Kelly and Mary J. Blige,
And Bono.
uh, and I can Bono from U2,
True.
um, which was unheard of, I guess, because if you're Christian, you stay Christian. If you're secular, you
Mm-hmm.
stay in your lane. So in the '90s, we saw a lot of like some collaborations. What do you guys feel like that? Like about collaborations like that between secular and Christian artists?
I think it's amazing. As I said, uh, after all, they had their beliefs, and sometimes you can appreciate the voice and the music of someone and want to sing together, even if you're not a Christian. But I can say for myself, I would love to sing with a lot of bands. Like Lifehouse is very similar to the kind of music that
Mm-hmm.
I do, so I would be very glad to sing with them. So I think it's amazing when these words collide, because this is the meaning of being Christian, as I see, is like bring people
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
together. Like if you are not a Christian, but you can have that moment with that song and saying beautiful things, and for a moment you can connect with that. I think it's amazing. Why not?
Yeah, agree.
yes,
Definitely.
totally.
I think it doesn't. You don't have to be in the same genre or to work together. I mean, we all know singers like Mariah or Whitney or are Christians, but they don't. It's not their main music, but they still like it
Yes.
because they love God.
The roots.
So it.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think it has to be like in a fight. So I mean,
totally.
if we they can all connect,
Mm-hmm.
it's great.
I think it's unfair to put people in a box, you know? Like, I love ev- not everything, but I love the CCM word in a way, you know, because I grew up listening to this kind of music and I love this kind of options. Like, for example, in the case of Adri, that we were raised in a Christian home, so it was so difficult for us. And then when we discovered this huge universe full of music, of Christian music, it was great. But at the same time, I think it's unfair to put people like in a box. So, for example, you're Crystal Lewis, it's impossible for you to sing with R. Kelly because he's a secular singer, or with Bono or Mary J. Blige or stuff like that. I love this kind of collaborations because, for example, and for example, right now Tori Kelly doing this kind of things. I
Mm-hmm.
love her. I love her so much because she had the opportunity to. She's Christian, but she was not in the she was not in the CCM world. But suddenly, and then she had the opportunity to record an album with Kirk Franklin, and it was a gospel album, and it was amazing. And then she, she's singing different kind of stuff right now, and it's okay, it's okay. And I think
She
it's
won a
great. I
Grammy
love.
for that. Yes.
Yes, yes, and it's great, and it's great because in her heart she's Christian, but it's not necessary to be in that CCM world, you know, like she's a
Yes.
Christian artist. For example, in the case of Lauren Daigle, she's very criticized because of that. Like, are you Christian, or what do you think about that? I like very much the way Lauren thinks about
Mm-hmm.
everything, you know, because she's very
Yes.
open about a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things. So it's great because it's not because you are Christian you have to do this or do that. It's about, like, at the end of the day you are human. You are
Mm-hmm.
a human being with
Mm-hmm.
different kind of beliefs. But and at the end of the day it's
Yeah.
music. You know, it's music, and I love this kind of collaboration. I need more of these collaborations.
Yeah.
I don't know, like Lauren
Yeah.
Daigle with
She's great.
another singers. Yes, yes, or yeah, yeah. I love it. Rachel Lampa with I don't know, Mariah Carey or something like that is
Yeah. To
amazing.
join those
Uh-huh.
voices. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Yes, powerful
Mm-hmm.
voices. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
but
for sure.
at its time, whenever "Lean on Me" was released, with Kurt Franklin and all of them, they had to do a version with just Crystal Lewis for Christian radio.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah,
re-recorded
yeah.
the song and they removed, R. Kelly and Mary J. Blige, and Crystal Lewis had to sing
Oh
the whole
God.
song by herself because
Yes,
that's the only way Christian
just
radio could have
Oh,
could play
great.
it.
I didn't know about I didn't know it was the reason, Adri.
Think.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that's
okay.
one of the reasons. Right? Because Christian radio wouldn't play it. So
Okay, okay, okay. And actually, Mary J. Blige is another singer that has a
Yeah.
lot of songs
Gospel
for
Influence.
God.
inspiration.
Yeah,
Chris Bruce,
yeah, yeah. You gospel
yeah,
inspiration for sure. Aretha
Of
Franklin,
course.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
there's a lot.
Now that
yes.
Mao mentioned Lauren, I have a question for you guys because I feel like in the 90s, in the early 2000s, actually during all the 2000s, we have like a peak of this kind of music, the same way we had in the mainstream with the pop, and in that time when we had a lot of different music going on at the same time, like hip hop and pop and rock, everything the charts was amazing, and suddenly the music changed a lot in the mainstream, and I feel like that happened in the Christian universe too. Like it went down. In my opinion, there's two reasons for that. Is like the way people consume music changed, and also because the minds of people with church and religion start to change too. So we have a lot of examples of those artists that we mentioned that some of them are not in church anymore, are not religious anymore, and they pass through so many awful things in the music industry, like um, Jennifer Knapp and the guy in Avalon and
Michael
a lot of
Cosmos.
artists. And suddenly, the, yeah, thank you, friend. Suddenly, the CCM is like this. And I was talking about Lauren because, like in the regular charts, the songs that went number one for most weeks overall, they had 16 weeks at number one. That is like Despacito, We Belong Together, now a counter song called Last Night. But in the Christian charts, the song with more weeks at number one is You Say
Mm-hmm.
by Lauren,
By
and
Lauren
it
Daigle.
went number one for 132 weeks.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
I
has a
didn't
record.
know that.
I did.
Like, yes, from 2008 until 2021, basically, she went number one solo. And I think it's because there's no competition anymore.
I
Like,
agree.
we don't have many artists there. What do you guys think about the fall of CCM music?
I To me, the fall of CCM was praise and worship. Um, and it sounds bad, but like artists started focusing more on like church music again instead of like pop or other genres. They started releasing CD after CD after CD of nothing but songs to play at church,
Hmm.
praise and worship music. And it actually started in the early 2000s. Michael W. Smith released I don't know how many praise and worship CDs, and it was a trend, and everybody started following, and it was a like everybody started doing it, like
Mm-hmm.
Hillsong, and there's another band called Jesus Culture, I think, and
Yeah.
Bethel or something like that. So all of them started like getting all this radio play that there was no room for CCM. Everything was praise and worship, and that's actually when I stopped listening to to Christian music because I just felt like everybody sounded the same.
Hmm.
Like you couldn't tell who was singing what. And it was actually the same songs, but by a different artist. Like Oceans, and I don't know how many people recorded Oceans, or
Oh,
Shout
yeah.
to the Lord, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody
Mm-hmm.
recorded Shout to the Lord.
Yeah.
So they're beautiful songs, but I don't know. I feel like they lost a lot of audience because of that, because there was no variety anymore.
Yeah.
Everything was the same, praise and worship, and I feel like this is gonna sound really bad, but Christian music became lame
Mm-hmm.
again. Like
Hmm.
the
Totally.
same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, that reflects even in Brazil because the Christian songs now are just Hillsong and
Mm-hmm.
Jesus culture songs translated in Portuguese. That's
Yeah,
only this. Yes.
And that
What do you
Yeah.
guys
yes,
think,
that
Mariel and
that
Mao?
Hillsong worship there's not only Hillsong in America. There's Hillsong in Australia, in New Zealand, in so they
Yeah, it's actually
yeah.
a church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
So,
started in
yeah.
well,
Australia.
as answering your question, I think that, um, like you mentioned, there's no competition anymore, and I think pop music, mostly when it comes to pop music that we know from Christians, has come down a lot, because even in the secular world, pop music is not popular anymore. Now we are more, in front of reggaeton or rock or other genres that are being more popular than what pop used to be. So I think that's one of the reasons why CCM
Hmm.
in the pop movement has fallen. And now there's only a few singers out there that can actually be recognized as CCM, like Lauren Daigle or this girl I love,
Riley
Clements,
Clemons, Riley
or
Clemons.
Becca Shea are only like a few, but that's why the competition is not so tough, because now, like Adrian said, it's more into the praise and worship. Yeah, and you, Mo?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, yes, I think like thank you, Adri, because you put something very important on the table, and it's the this kind of movement like like praise and worship thing, because I love, well, I, this is not my thing anymore, you know. I love like music about God. I love like praise and worship, you know, like this kind of lyrics. But at the same time, I perceive this kind of music like very, forgive me, Lord, but very lame, you know. Like the lyrics are always the same. Like Jesus, okay, Jesus, it's okay, okay. I understand where this come from, you know, because it's worship, because it's like we call in Spanish alabanza y adoración. I understand this, but I think we lost these great pop singers like Rachael Lampa, or well, I know that we mention all the time, but the Stacie Orrico or Britney Cole or other girls doing so girl, this kind of pop that it was very cool, it was very nice, but it was Christian. So yes, I understand, and I think there is a place for this kind of music, like for praise and worship. But at the same time, I think it's not necessary that every singer, every Christian youth singer, do this. You know, like Evan Craft or Hillsong or these kind of things. I don't like it, because every artist is doing the same, you know, like for this reason I like, I'm not a huge fan of Lauren Daigle, because I don't know very
Oh,
well
you
her
should.
catalog, but but she's great, and I have to say that it's great that we have like or Riley Clemons or this kind of singers, but it's amazing, and I think it was the fall of CCM, you know, like yes,
Hmm.
it
yeah.
was because
Yes,
of that.
definitely.
Yeah, for
But well,
sure.
in the end, we still can enjoy the music that we've been talking about throughout the whole episode, from the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah.
We've been, like, grateful to have those artists in our catalogs now. And Adrian, I know you have some
Yeah.
questions for us, like a game. Please, it's
Yes.
your
Yes.
turn. It's all yours, Adrian.
All right. So the first one is going back to collaborations, and of course I have to mention Crystal Lewis. Um,
It's
her
okay.
last album, her last
Good for
album
you.
was
Together
Yes.
we
Together.
can.
Together We Can, which
Yeah.
is a collaborations album, and you guys should listen to. But she has like all the songs are either a duet or maybe like more than a duet, like three people singing. And it got me thinking, what collaborations would you like to see with like maybe like a 90s CCM artist, or not even 90s, but like someone that you know, with someone secular. It can be from, even if they're not alive anymore, just like someone that you thought
Okay.
would sound good together.
Okay, go ahead,
And I'll go
Adrian.
first if you
While
don't
we
mind.
think.
Of
Please.
course. Go ahead.
uh, since we talked about like the charts, that how if you like Britney, you like Stacie, or if you like blah blah blah. I would have loved to see Crystal Lewis sing with Celine Dion,
Oh,
just to see what they could do together
Yeah.
with their voices.
yeah.
Yeah,
High
a lot
I
of
notes
high
for
like
sure.
that.
notes. Yes.
Yes, a lot of
Okay.
yes. Yes, I
Yes.
like that. Yes.
So
Uh,
Mariel,
difficult. But I think I will go with Rachel because you guys know I love Rachael Lampa, and probably seeing her
hmm
singing with someone like Sarah Bareilles. I would love. Yes, she's
yes,
great.
that
And
would be.
they
I love
actually
Sarah
met
Bareilles.
while Sarah was a judge at the Sing Off, and Rachel was part of
That's
the
right.
contestants, and Sarah was like, I know
That's
who you
true.
are. I
Yeah.
know your songs. I love them, and I'm like, yeah, those two should be singing together. So I would love to see them. But yeah,
Awesome.
you
Yeah.
never know.
It could happen.
Luquitas. Oh well, Lucas or Mau,
Ma-
whoever.
oh, Lucas.
Look at us.
Lucas.
I'm
Let's go
still
with Lucas.
thinking. Yeah.
Used to thinking, okay. I would like to see Plum with Michelle Branch singing Stranded because, as I
Ooh.
mentioned before, I always thought that song was
Oh
by
yeah.
Michelle when I was younger. So for me to finally have both voices together sing the song that I love so much would be amazing.
That's great.
Yes. Loves it.
Okay,
Ma-
I love like very rare collaborations, so I go with Rebecca St. James doing something with Lenny Kravitz or something like that. I
Wow.
would love to
Okay.
see that, yes, because it's like the rock vibe, but at the same time, it's like I perceive Lenny Kravitz very soulful,
Yeah.
and yes,
Very
so something
sexy.
like that, like yes.
Interesting. Okay.
That'll be great. All right. My
Yes.
next question is, what is your favorite 90s CCM song, or in your case, Lucas, early 2000s, I guess.
No,
Okay.
I have a 90s favorite.
Oh, you do.
It's
Okay, and after that, a lyric that stood out to you, a lyric that you always think about, maybe, or that really
Okay.
impacted you. So I guess I'll start with Lucas, then, since you have your 90s
now I'm
CCM.
confusing. I do love Jagarati
Palomas en el
actually,
cielo.
but
Yay!
yeah, I think it's
Palomas and
90. Palomas en el cielo,
Okay.
1999, right?
99. 99.
Yeah, but I kinda love that much. There She Goes by Sixpence None the Richer, but um, real CCM like Jagarati is.
Okay.
The lyrics, Palomas en el cielo, no. Uh,
Yes.
I gotta think a little bit more about the lyrics. Go, other person, please.
All right. Mau?
No, Mau.
Mariel or me?
Mau.
Okay, okay, okay.
Mauricio.
Well, Jesus Freak by DC Talk was a song that was very important for me, you know? So I go with this song. The lyrics are part of my life, you know? And another song that is always on my mind from the 90s, oh gosh, God by Rebecca St. James.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Blessed by Rachael Lampa is a song that is not from the 90s, it's from early 2000s, but all the time when I is struggling or had a bad day or something like that, I'm always like, okay, I'm blessed. I try to put these lyrics on my head, you know, like I'm blessed. For the bad and the best, I'm blessed. So yeah, I love those
Yeah.
lyrics.
The lyrics that stand out.
Yeah.
Cool. Mariel?
What about you, mi
90
Mariel?
song is definitely Beauty for Ashes by Crystal. Yay! Honoring your t shirt,
Nice.
Adrian. Yes. I think that
Yeah.
song says a lot, defines a lot. So, and when it comes to
Totally.
lyrics, there's a bunch, but I think that Lauren Daigle's Still Rolling Stones is the one that stands out for me because of how
Okay.
Cool.
powerful the lyrics are, and All at once I came alive. This beating heart, these broken arms. Um, it's so powerful for me, and I'm like, you're still Rolling Stones. Yes, so
Pretty.
that for me is special, as well as Rachel's
Hmm.
Blessed. I love Blessed. When I am
Okay.
blessed from when I rise up in the morning till I lay my head to rest. I feel you near me, you
Yes.
soothe me when I'm weary. Oh Lord, for all the worst and all the best, I am blessed. Yes.
Cool. Before Lucas
Mariel
gives
I
us,
knows the
love that
lyrics
song.
very well.
Yes.
yeah,
I love
Yeah,
it.
I
look at
love it.
it.
I love it too.
Wow, it's
Oh,
huge.
Can you see?
it's the poster. Yes, it's huge. It's
Huge,
Oh,
yes.
beautiful. Yeah,
Huge.
and it's signed.
He signed
awesome.
Wow.
it. Yes.
Yes.
So, all
Friend,
right, my
Luquitas,
what
I think you mentioned a song.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, I
Carlton
want to
Dixon.
help you. Yes. Uh-huh, Colton Dixon, yes.
Yes, I remember that too. The lyrics I want to mention, actually, I'm going to mention two very quickly. Is Carlton Dixon's. It's not 90s, not early 2000s. I think it's 2012 or 2013. More of You. I love the lyrics when he sings, "I refuse to gain the world and lose my soul." Is something that I want to make a tattoo because makes a lot of
that?
sense. And actually, it's kind of similar, but I've been listening a lot of Kendall Payne. That
Yeah?
is a girl that I discovered recently because Adrian bought me the CD as a present, and actually Mao told him that I may like this girl, and you are totally right, my friend. You know me,
Oh,
and
yes, I know
I
you, friend.
love when she sings. I think it's something like I have been everybody else. Now I want to be something closer to myself. Something
Self,
like this.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
And I think this is so
powerful.
beautiful when people decide to be themselves. So I love these lyrics, and I'm listening to this song a
Okay.
lot right now.
Oh, I'm so happy of that, friend, because I knew you're going to love
Yeah,
Kendall Payne. Yeah.
you are right.
Yeah.
And now, Adrian,
Well,
Thank you,
my
your
friend.
song, yeah, my song is not a Crystal Lewis song, but one of my favorite 90s CCM songs is Aaron O'Donnell's "No Better Place."
Okay.
And the chorus says, "I can't think of a better place than where I am now." And I love that part because sometimes it's very, the way life is
mm-hmm,
sometimes so ordinary,
mm-hmm,
like it's
Hmm.
always the same routine. Sometimes it's okay, or it's great to remind yourself that you've come so far and you can't think of a better place to be than where you are now,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite songs, also
Okay.
because of the 90s vibe that it has. And my favorite lyric is from Crystal Lewis.
Of course.
It's a
Yeah,
song
yeah,
called
love it.
"For Such a Time as This," and
Uh,
the bridge, it says, "Sometimes the thrill of soaring has to begin with the fear of falling." And I love that. Like, it's so powerful to just think
Mm-hmm.
that, hey,
Yes,
jump,
great.
you'll be
Yes.
okay. And I wish I was brave
love.
enough to do a lot of things that I need to do. So that song is
Mm-hmm.
inspiring to get me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Adrian.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now a song you were surprised that you liked, maybe like a guilty pleasure. Maybe it's a song that, like, why do I like this song? Or maybe you're a little embarrassed that you like this song.
Mm,
Hmm.
let me think.
I'll go so you guys can think.
Yes,
Back then, because
please.
I was like graduating high school and the song was very cheesy pop, I was embarrassed to like blast it, on the in my car or like listen to it. But as I'm older, I don't give a if whatever anybody thinks. It's my Irreplaceable by Tammy
Hey,
Trent.
Tommy Tramp.
I
You
don't know if you
told
guys
me
know it.
about that. Yes.
Uh-huh. It's very, very like, I don't know, pop, like very 2000s pop. And I guess girly, if you want to call it
Mhm.
something. But at first, I wouldn't play it loud, because I'm like, oh my God, they're going to make fun of me. But now, I love
Mm.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My
Uh,
irreplaceable. Yeah.
There you go.
well, for me, it's hard because I don't really believe in
Yes.
guilty pleasures. I think it's a pleasure and that's it. But I can see people staring and laughing if they could see me dancing to spinning around by Jump 5 at my house.
We gotta see that.
Yeah.
Because that girl has like such a high voice, and I go singing like that and dancing and jumping. I love that part of jump, 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 spinning around.
Day
Oh yeah,
five.
oh yeah. And I do the whole thing, and I don't care. So maybe this one.
I love it. You know, Jump Five. I saw them before they were called Jump Five.
Mm,
They were called
Really?
Jump Start. Yeah.
Whoa!
Okay.
So at the very
Uh-huh.
beginning, yes.
Yeah, they were
mm-hmm.
part of a like a Christmas tour
Hmm.
with Crystal Lewis. It was called The Child of the Promise, and they were part of like the ensemble. And every artist had like a song they could sing. So they did
Mm-hmm.
like Santa Claus is Coming to Town or some
Yeah.
kiddie song. But it was amazing because like people loved them because they were jumping all over the place and doing flips and
Yeah.
everything.
Oh,
But they were called
fun
Jump
fact.
Start whenever they started.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, fun fact.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
All right. Anybody
yes, I
else?
think I do.
Mariel, you
It's
have
done by Pure
yours?
Energy, and because they're like similar to Jump Five, and I would also. It's a
Yes.
yeah.
It's kind of
This
Yes.
good
one of
pleasure for me
what
too.
if I was a cheerleader? What if I was the girl next door? So yeah, that one would be for me
Cute.
because Pure Energy are Christians,
Yes.
Christian kids.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
And I do like too.
Yeah,
It's for
it's
kids,
cool.
but
Yeah.
whatever. It's cool. It's
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Mao,
Music
your
is
turn.
universal.
Yes.
Yes.
Mouth.
Yes, yes. I was recalling a moment in my life when I used to work
Mm-hmm.
in Aeropostal, actually, that is for US. And I
Hmm.
was listening to Si Puedes Creer by Lily
Okay.
Goodman. And I was like, that song touched me so much. And I was like singing, but everybody was watching, and I was like, because it's a powerful message, the song. And I was like crying because that song touched me so much. And I was like at the store, like blending the clothes and stuff like that, like organizing. But I was like, si puedes creer, and I was crying. So I was
Wow.
like very ashamed,
Oh,
like it was embracing moment. But at this, yes, so yeah, maybe that song, it was like I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure, because I think the same. It's not guilty pleasure. It's
Yeah.
music is music, and that's all. But
Hmm.
yes, maybe
Okay.
that moment in my life.
Great.
That moment.
Yeah.
nice. I like that. Okay, and my last question, I guess, is any CCM song that you would like for somebody else to sing? Maybe like you picture somebody else, like, oh, this person will sound great singing this.
Hmm.
And mine, I'll give you mine so you can think of something, is On My
Mm-hmm.
Knees or De Creer en Ti by Jackie Velasquez, but or done by Rachel Lampa.
Oh.
And I would love to hear Rachel Lampa singing in Spanish.
Oh.
So I think she would do great in De Creer en
So,
Ti.
so it's gotta
Yeah.
be another CCM artist, not
Yeah,
secular.
CCM song
Okay.
with any artist. It can be secular or Christian.
Oh, it can be secular. Because
Okay.
Okay.
I know that I'm repeating myself a lot, but I just can't help to think about Every Day by Jesse
Mm.
Daniels with Michelle Branch voice.
Show Branch.
Yeah,
She's your
because
crystal.
she was the inspiration for this
Mm-hmm.
album of Jesse, and
Mm-hmm.
I love both, so would be amazing.
I'm thinking.
Cool.
Okay.
Mm.
No, it's
Did you know
difficult.
that Michelle Branch was featured on a Christian magazine for her album Spirit Room?
No, do you have
They
Oh.
it?
did. Yeah, I think one of the magazines that I got, Mauricio, they did a review for Spirit Room. Like,
Oh,
I don't know
Yes,
that's
if they
good.
yes.
portrayed a Christian album or what.
Adri shared this with me.
Send me a
Yes.
picture whenever you can. I'm curious.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'll
I
take a
think I
picture and
have
send it to
mine,
you.
and it would be "Don't Look at Me" by
Okay.
Stacie Orrico. I would have loved seeing nowadays Lauren Daigle. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Or
Oh.
Riley
Like the
Clemens,
same
like the
version,
old
her own
version.
version.
But those two, because those two are
Unique
today.
Oh,
version.
Wow.
okay. Very
Yes, and those
bubblegum.
two are the ones that I think are trying to save the Christian pop music. So that's why I choose those two.
Yes,
Yes.
I like that.
Okay, I have mine. Shackles by Mary Mary,
Okay.
singing by Tori Kelly because she says in one interview she said like she loved that song, and actually she mentioned Crystal Lewis a lot
Yeah,
as one of her musical influence. So yeah, maybe one song from Crystal like "Now I Live" or something like that,
I know that.
in the voice of Tori Kelly and
Okay.
Shackless, Mary Mary Shackless, singing by Tori
I
Kelly.
think
But I
Tori
think
Kelly can
yes,
pull it.
Tori Kelly can do it because she has an amazing voice, and actually she's one of my favorite singers for nowadays. So yes, Tori
Yeah.
Kelly
You
doing this kind of thing.
you
Yes,
listen
I
to
know.
Cut
From
all
your
day.
last FM.
Yes, yes. I'm
Yeah,
obsessed. I'm obsessed.
I
Actually,
know.
I have to admit that in the beginning of Tori's career, I was like in love with that girl. Suddenly, I was like disconnected of the work that she
Yeah.
was doing
We
in that
talking
moment
about
because,
this, yes. Very
yes, we
recently.
talked, yes, but then now in May, I think in July, she realized an amazing EP, and the song cut is like great. So I
Gorgeous.
love her again. So
Yeah.
she's one of my favorites again. I'm in
Yeah.
love with Tori
I
again.
have another
Yes.
question,
Yeah.
Adrian. Your favorite CCM album?
Ooh.
Okay, Mao?
Beautiful Ashes.
Ah.
Can I choose
Ooh.
another
Mm-hmm.
one? Beautiful Ashes is like the top. Like
Yes.
nobody can replace, or it has a special place. But there's an album by Cindy Morgan called "The Loving Kind," and it's about the last 8 days of Jesus on Earth, and every song is like a
Oh.
different,
Mm-hmm.
day or a different part of his, road to Calvary. Like there's a
Mm-hmm.
song called "The
Mm-hmm.
Last Supper," and of course it's about the Last Supper. And she actually re-recorded it
Okay.
with Luis
Mm.
Fonsi. Um, and so there's a lot, like all eight. I think it's 12 songs. All 12 songs are amazing, and it's like it takes you there, to that
Mm-hmm.
time whenever Jesus died.
Hmm.
So I
Okay.
think "The Loving Kind" is one of my all-time
Great.
favorite CCM
Guys?
albums.
Great.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Go Mau.
Well, I don't want to repeat myself because it would be a Stacie Orrico self-title.
Yeah.
But now, I say this Transformed by Rebecca St. James is one
Mm-hmm.
of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I love so much this album. Of
What's your
course,
favorite song from there?
from this album is Universe. It's a song called Universe. I
Cool.
love that song so much. Yes, another one would be Rachel Lampa
Love it. Yes.
self-title that I also love.
What
Yes,
about you,
yes, yes,
Luquitas?
yes.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, for me, of course, is also the Stacie Orrico album. But to not repeat myself, I will go with Jesse
Jesse
Daniels,
Daniels,
2006,
like
and the only album by her. Unfortunately,
Great.
I love this so
Well,
much.
to not repeat
Nice.
myself, my favorite album in the world is Genuine. So, yeah, Genuine. But I
Yes.
also love Rachel Lampas's Kaleidoscope. This album is
Kaleidoscope.
I love her.
amazing.
Love, love,
I
love.
can say that
Yeah.
a song is bad.
Yes.
I mean, I love it from beginning to end. And Mao has it sang. I hate him. But
No.
anyway,
Yes,
yes,
it was
you
from
told
the
us.
Reunited actually. Yes.
There's a song on there that I keep like every I don't know, I listen to it daily and I can think of the name of the song right now.
If I fix
But it's
my
I'm
What?
All
eyes
Yours.
on
I'm all
you.
yours. Yes, yes.
I love the lyrics. I love what she does with her voice. I can listen
Yes,
to that song like
definitely.
on repeat. It's so good. But
So so
going
good.
back to my favorite
Yes.
Oh,
album, this is
I'm
my
so
favorite album,
jealous. I'm so
Yeah,
jealous.
and it
and it's
sang
Father.
it. Wow,
Great.
great. Yeah.
I love. Yeah, I had the chance to do a show with Crystal Lewis where she sang
Yeah.
and I was like
Wow.
the co-host.
Oh.
So
Wow.
yeah, it was in Nashville, Tennessee, and the fans would like
Mm-hmm.
tip, money for the song they wanted to have her sing. So it was an amazing experience to have her
Wow.
right there next to me singing, and we would just introduce the song. Me and the host would introduce the song, And when everybody left, the venue, because it wasn't. I mean, it was a venue. It was like a house, and they put chairs and everything, and they had a stage. It was real cool. So when everybody left, it was just the host, me and Crystal Lewis, and the host was doing his thing, and I was just sitting with Crystal Lewis talking about life, love, and other mysteries. And it was, oh my god, a great
Oh,
experience.
what
So
an
Your
amazing moment
favorite
to have
artist.
with your
Yes.
idol. Awesome.
yes, it
Yes,
was it was
yes.
so cool. And one of my dreams was to sing with Crystal Lewis, and I got
What
to sing
song?
with Crystal Lewis.
Ah,
Um, yeah, it's called "I Can Dream," and it's from Roundhouse. I don't know if you guys know that
Oh,
she was in a
yes.
Nickelodeon
Mm-hmm.
show in 1992. Uh-huh. So I've always liked that song. I never watched the show when it aired because I was in Mexico. But when I found out about Crystal Lewis, of course, I did my homework and researched everything that she had done. And I found that on YouTube, and it's such a pretty song. And here in the United States, if there's a term called dreamers, and it's for people that don't have their documents, like their residence or citizenship. They're called dreamers because they've been here forever since they were little. Me, since I was little, but I still don't have my residence. So we have this group called Dreamers where we're
Mm-hmm.
fighting to get our, residence because we've been here forever. So we're fighting for that.
Yeah.
And they call us the Dreamers. So I always felt connected to that song, I Can Dream. And I was like, why don't we sing that song? So we sang that song, and the host recorded us singing it, and it was like
Wow,
highlight of
that's
my life.
great.
of
Whoa.
And
course, for sure. And it's amazing that
mhm.
you have this. Sorry, Mariel. It's amazing, Adri, because you have this communication with Crystal Lewis. It's
Yeah,
Yes.
amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I
It's
never,
it's
I
like
never
a
thought it could
dream.
happen.
You text
It's
with her.
yeah,
Actually, you text with you know her in person. It's incredible. Well, I knew
yeah,
her too, but
Okay.
you have like a friendship, a real friendship
So
with
ask
her.
Yes,
her
please.
to watch us.
Yes,
oh
please.
yes, I
Yeah.
Told
Hey,
totally,
her about
Crystal.
us. Told her about the
yes,
hey Crystal. Yes, and
yes, I will totally tell.
actually, she knew me at the
Yes.
time. She knows Mariel. So
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes, and now the Brazilian number one fan, Lucas.
Yeah. I'm listening to her songs. I know you, Crystal
yes,
Lewis.
Yes.
There you go.
I mean, we've been thankful to know
No,
her. I mean,
yeah.
for
So
the three of
it's
us, Luquitas aside. But I when she answered my
Yes.
email asking her for an interview, I was like, oh my god, is she really answering me back? And we did it so fast. And whenever you can, I have this schedule, so she was really cool. So thank you, Crystal, as well as Rachel, who also answered me back. So thank you, Rachel, for the rest of my life.
yes,
Yeah.
great CCM artist.
Shame on you,
Yes,
Stacie
darling.
Orrico.
yeah.
But anyway,
She tried to get Jackie
I will
next.
try.
Let's see if she can do it.
Yes.
Jackie,
Yeah.
wow. Yes, for
Anyway,
sure.
but
Yes.
Yeah.
Adrian,
uh,
just to finish, if you want to share with us your collection, because I know you have a lot of albums, um, uh, whatever you want to show us that
Yeah.
you love, that you cherish the most.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is a picture that she mailed
Wow.
back in 1999.
Yes.
Um, can you see it? Yeah, right.
yes.
I actually wrote a letter to her. I was like 17 at the time, 16, 17. And I'm like, she's not going to answer. But she actually replied with a letter and a signed picture that I cherish. And I'm not a collector like you guys. You guys have amazing stuff. But I did decide to like try to collect all of
Mm-hmm.
the things that she's released. So I actually do have
Wow.
all of her vinyl,
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, holiday.
Rhapsody, uh, Holiday,
Wow.
Joy.
Oh,
Why Blue
This is
I
from
Yonder?
never
her
saw
first
Yes.
that.
band, Wild Blue Yonder.
Yes.
Yeah, and Beyond the Charade.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I
Oh,
actually do have all of the vinyls that she's released um, in my possession, and all of the singles that she's done
Okay.
for like Beauty for Ashes.
Oh,
I
great.
actually do have all of them, and the ones for Poles.
I love
Those
CCM
And
are rare.
singles because are very rare.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
really hard to
Yeah.
Okay.
find. Like this is Only Fools from Fearless.
Oh, beautiful.
Um,
Beautiful cover.
yeah, and this is
Okay.
my favorite.
Those are
Satisfied,
really rare, Adrian.
Oh,
and
yes, are
yeah,
really
not
rare.
this one.
Yeah.
And I think that's. Oh, actually, this one is. Remember, I told you guys about the music club that you
Hmm.
Oh,
could
yeah.
buy CDs for the price of like 1 penny. This is actually like an interview, and it has little like snippets from the
Okay.
from Gold, from her album Gold.
I
So
love promos
Okay.
like that.
me too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm still missing a few,
And
but I'm
your Brazilian DVD is coming on Friday. So
yay!
you're
Thank you for
going to
that.
have another one. Yes.
And Lucas got me
Oh,
more the
okay.
more DVD, but the Brazilian edition. So
Yeah.
thank you
Yeah.
so much for that. And yeah, I have a lot of stuff. Like I can't really show you everything that I have, but I have the book that she released,
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
Gold,
Oh, beautiful. Yes,
and in
beautiful.
Espanol,
Of
and it's
course it is.
signed.
Of course.
A
Yeah.
lot of memorabilia, yes.
No, and I have a like an annoying story about this book
Please do.
actually that I would like to share. That
I don't think it's annoying, but share it with us, friend.
it's annoying. So when I was growing up in church, they used to have like Bible studies, and they would tell us like this month we're gonna study the book of So we studied the book of James, and I was one of the only ones that actually did my homework. I read the whole book, and I was like very competitive. So I'm like, I'm gonna win this, even if there's no prize. But surprise, surprise, there was a prize, and it was actually Jackie Velasquez, "Heavenly Place," the CD. But I had it already, So I'm like, I don't want this. So I went to the lady that organized the event, and I'm like, hey, I already have this CD. Do you think you can change it for Crystal Lewis's book, Gold? And she just looked at me and like, what? And I'm like, it's because I already have it, and I don't know. Since you gave this to me, do you think you can exchange it at the bookstore for the book?
Oh, that's
And
great.
she actually did it. So that's how I got
uh,
this
it's not
this
annoying. It's
book.
actually
It's
very
not
sweet. Yes.
annoying. It's fair because you already
Yeah.
have the CD. Yes.
Yes.
I know, but it's like there's a saying in Spanish: "A lo dado no se le busca al lado."
No.
Like limosnero con
Yes.
Okay.
garrote.
Yeah, 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 yeah. A
Like
caballo
beggars can't be
regalado no se
choosers,
le mira el colmillo, sí.
Yeah, but I mean, she was very,
Oh,
very
that's great.
nice, and she actually did it. So,
Great.
yay me.
And
Yeah.
Mao
Yeah.
and
Totally.
Lucas,
And you
anything you
have it.
guys
That
want
is
to share
important.
from your
Yes.
collection?
Yes.
Like real quick.
Let me think. I never
Yeah,
mentioned
she's
that I
great.
really like Britney Cole, so will show the albums that I have. Uh, I actually
Yeah.
discovered her without knowing that she was Christian too, uh, and I really like her music. I have the signed True Vibe album from
Mm-hmm.
the story that I told in last season,
Oh,
the old
joy.
store that I
Mm-hmm.
found. Those things signed. Yes, and I think that I never show was this. I have a lot of Palomas en el Cielo albums too, because this was pure luck. I discovered her like 2021 with Jigarati, uh,
Wow.
and
Mm-hmm.
then I started to find all the albums suddenly. Like it was pure luck. I think that's
Mm.
it. And this girl
That's
group
that's really
Shine,
rare. Yes.
that
MK.
I that is very Mariel type of music.
Okay. And
Yes,
Mao?
that's it.
Well, to be a Christian, since the time that I was like very small, I have like a few. But I have a
Yes.
huge collection
We
in
all
Houston
do.
because of
Thanks.
Adri. So thank you,
All of
Adri.
us.
But I'm
Yes,
going to share this. Yes,
we
we
all
all do.
do.
So I have this Mary Mary, Rebecca St. James that I already showed. Rachael Lampa, actually, I have this I have Blur actually, but I don't have here at hand.
Mm.
So Girl, this is a compilation. I love this girl so much. Out of Eden,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Rachel Lampa. And I have this that was the soundtrack of the Chronicles of Narnia. That I
Oh,
was it was like music inspired by the movie. I think at that time I was obsessed with the movie because it was part. And this is Rebecca St. James, Toby
It's so
Mag, Nicole
Christian.
Nordeman, Bethany Dillon. So I remember, yes, it's a Christian, but I think only one song appeared in the movie, and it was like I think it was Stephen Curtis Chapman.
Friend,
Remember
this is
you is the
2005.
2005, friend. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that song
But it
by
was.
Ellie and Jay that I mentioned, Never Far Behind, was supposed to be in this.
Oh,
oh,
okay, okay. Didn't
Yeah,
know that.
but
Okay,
for
okay.
some reason it's not, but was made for this.
Lucas, what
Oh,
was the name of
okay,
the song?
okay, okay.
Sorry,
What was the
Adrian?
name of the song by Ali and AJ?
Is Never Far Behind.
Okay, I'm gonna look
Great.
for it because I really want to listen to that.
Well, my
Yeah.
collection is really, really small
What
for
about you,
Christian
And
Mariel?
that's
artists.
all.
Yay! And you have seen my Stacie Orrico collection that I have, the genuine, the Christmas Wish, the self-titled, and the Beautiful Awakening. The Christmas Wish, thank you, Mimau, because I got it from you. I recently, Mao brought me from Brazil, this one that sent me Luquitas, that this is a Christian girl band. Uh,
Yes.
and my Rachael Lampa collection from Kaleidoscope, Rachel's, and All We Need. And thanks to Adrian, I now have
All we need.
the first
Yeah.
album by Rachel that is Live for You. So,
A
and that's
lot.
it. But I would like to
Hey,
definitely, you
Yeah.
know,
man,
and, get my collection a bit wider from Christian artists. Yes.
Yeah.
grow.
Why?
Yeah.
Actually, I want to give this to you, Mariel, because this is not my thing. I don't plan to collect
Oh,
this group. I think
thank you,
this is
Luki.
more you
Thank you,
than
Luquitas.
me.
Of course, I
What do you think?
definitely cherish that. I appreciate that. Thank you. So
Okay,
I
so
hope
it's
everybody
yours
had a
for
great
sure.
time doing this. This is our first episode with a special guest. I hope that you, Adrian, felt welcome and that you enjoyed this episode as much as we do. Yeah.
Oh man, I sure did. Like I love talking CCM, and I love that you guys gave me this
Thank you.
space.
Thank you for
And
being here. And
thank you so
this is
much.
definitely not going to
Thank
be
you.
your last
Yes.
appearance here on the show. So beware because we might be calling you soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anything else you guys want
Game.
to add?
Thank you.
Luquitas,
Yes.
Mao?
I want to say thank you. This is our second season already. Feels so special to begin this season with a person that
Mm-hmm.
we actually met because of this podcast. So it's safe to say that it's working because we mentioned this at the very beginning. We want to, to do this to bring more people that love pop music like us, and here it is. So thank you, Adrian, for being here, for all your support,
Yes.
for all the CDs you got for us. That is making our collection very special, and most of all for your friendship, because now you are a friend for us too, for sure. And thanks to everyone watching. I know that we talked about a lot of artists that maybe people do not know about, so Mauricio will create a special playlist for us, and you guys can know all the amazing
Yes.
artists from the CCM
Mao?
universe with us.
Yes, first of all, I want to say thank you, Adri, because of all your love, your support, your friendship. You've
The
been
best.
amazing for us, like for the CDs, for everything. Thank you so much. It's amazing to have you here in this space, and nobody's better than
For
you
sure.
talking about CCM, because
Yeah.
I was like the expert of CCM here, but you have a lot of knowledge in this scene. So that is CCM. So thank you for your
You're
love,
welcome.
thank you for your friendship. You are the best. And as Lucas said, I'm going to create, with the help of Adri,
Hey.
a list, a good playlist in Spotify. You can find it
Yeah.
for all of these CCM artists for you to enjoy. Thank you, the
Yes.
audience, and see you soon,
No, no,
guys.
no.
And don't worry, it won't be all Crystal Lewis. Don't worry, it'll be
Ah,
different
okay,
artists.
yes.
Oh, and before we go, I'm sorry. There, if you guys enjoy CCM or want to know more about CCM, there's this new documentary working called "Save for the Whole Family" that's
Yeah.
coming out soon. They need our support. They're raising money so they can get it released. If you get a chance, look them up on social media. Save for the Whole Family. It's gonna be rough, learning about this behind the scenes of the
Yeah.
CCM world. But I'm so happy that the truth is getting out there. Their truth. This amazing artist's truth, what they went through, and
Okay, great.
I don't know, support it. Save for
Yeah.
the whole family.
The link for this will be in the
Yes.
description of
In
this
the
video, so
description,
people
Thank
can,
you
yes.
once again,
yeah, the people
everybody.
can see.
Thank
Great.
you, Adrian, for being here with us. Lucas, Mau, for everything you always do to make this podcast the best pop podcast out there. Yes, I had to say it. And so we will be
Yeah.
seeing each other next week. Don't forget to give us a big thumbs up, subscribe, and follow us on our Instagram account at Ready Set Pop Pop, please. And well, we will be happily receiving your feedback for this week for this new season. So, thank you, everybody. Take care and have a great night.